My name's Nicole. I'm 28, and I was raised by a hospital bigwig who couldn't even spot cancer when it was straight up killing his own daughter. This is the story of how I figured out that family ain't about blood. It's about who actually pulls up when you're going through it for real. My dad's eyes bounced from his laptop to my medical scan, then right back to his presentation slides without even skipping a beat on his typing. The hospital's harsh fluorescent lights made the tumor on the image pop this creepy white against the dark background of my organs. 10 whole centimeters of cancer had been growing inside me for months while he wrote off my pain as me being extra. Dad, the oncologist says it's serious. Stage 2. They gotta operate like yesterday. The steady clacking of his keyboard didn't slow down one bit. Grace, we've been through this. Your stepmother's been busting her butt for weeks planning my promotion party. It's in 2 days. My mouth went dry as a bone as it all clicked into place. My father, the dude in charge of patient care policies at St. Catherine's Medical Center, was putting a freakin' party above his daughter's cancer surgery. For 6 months, this brutal, stabbing pain had been folding me in half out of nowhere. I'd dropped 15 pounds, spent nights bawling from pain so gnarly it literally took my breath away. Every single time I brought it up, my father, Patrick Morgan, operations manager at St. Catherine's Medical Center, had blown me off without barely looking my way. "It's just stress," he'd say, eyes glued to budget spreadsheets and staffing reports. "Pop some Tums and quit whining." My stepmom, Victoria, would back him up real quick every time. "Your father's promotion party is in 2 months. Can you please not stir up drama right before his big moment?" Even my younger half-brother Evan had hopped on the bandwagon. "Nicole always has some medical emergency whenever Dad's got something important going on." He'd smirked from the couch. "Remember her migraine during my graduation? I was in the ER that day." "Sure you were." Evan had rolled his eyes. The move was a dead-on copy of our dad. It wasn't until I straight-up collapsed at work that anybody gave a damn. The ER doc ordered a CT scan right away that same afternoon. The images confirmed what my body had been screaming about for months, a complex ovarian mass wrapped around vital organs, actively spreading. Dr. Olivia Ramirez, chief of surgical oncology at St. Catherine's, yeah, my father's hospital, got assigned to my case. When she walked into the exam room, her white coat fresh and crisp against her dark scrubs, I felt the first little spark of hope I'd had in months. "Nicole, this is serious," she said, pulling up my imaging on the screen. "The mass is 10 centimeters, complex, definitely malignant. We need to operate ASAP." She pointed to spots where the cancer had started creeping into the surrounding tissue. "The surgery's gonna be intense, probably 5 to 6 hours. You're gonna need major recovery time and family support." I swallowed hard. My father works at this hospital. He's the operations manager. Dr. Ramirez's face shifted just a little. Her professional game face cracked for a split second. "Patrick Morgan is your father?" "Yeah, you know him?" "I'm his boss. Technically, I sit on the executive board that green-lit his promotion." She paused, her pen hovering over my chart. "Has he seen your scans?" The memory of all his brush-offs burned like battery acid in my throat. "He says I'm being dramatic about minor stuff." Something dark crossed her face, not just disappointment, a flash of legit anger that she shut down real quick. "These aren't minor issues, Nicole. This is potentially life-threatening. Any healthcare administrator who took one look at these scans would know how bad this is." "He won't look at them," I whispered. "He's too caught up with his promotion party." Dr. Ramirez made a deliberate note in my chart, pressing her pen down so hard I could hear it scratching against the paper. "Nicole, I want you to know that what your family is doing, blowing off serious medical conditions, refusing to have your back, that goes against everything we stand for in healthcare, and it's especially messed up coming from someone in hospital leadership." The surgery got locked in for Thursday, 2 days after my diagnosis. My dad's promotion bash was Saturday night at the hospital's event center, the same building where I'd be laid up recovering in the surgical ward just 2 floors down. When I told them about the surgery date, Victoria's first response was, "You'll be good by Saturday, right? The party's black tie. We need family photos." "I'll be 2 days post-op from major abdominal surgery." My father's voice sliced through the air like a scalpel. "Nicole, don't be dramatic. Outpatient procedures are no big deal these days. You'll be a little sore, but you can tough it out for a few hours at a party." Dr. Ramirez said it's 5 to 6 hours of surgery. They might have to take out my ovary. Quit catastrophizing. His tone got sharper. These doctors hype everything up to pad their bills. He turned to Victoria without missing a beat. She'll be there. Even if she's got a chill in the corner, we need the family picture. I just stared at him. This man who worked in healthcare, who signed off on surgical schedules, who knew all the medical lingo, and he was calling my cancer surgery a little discomfort. Dad, this is serious. What's serious is you trying to tank my promotion with your never-ending medical drama, he snapped, finally looking up from his laptop. His eyes were cold, like looking at a stranger. I've grinded for 15 years for this position. You are not gonna blow it with your attention-seeking nonsense. My ride-or-die best friend Lori drove me to surgery Thursday morning. My dad had a critical meeting. Victoria was getting her hair done for the party. Evan left me on red. Dr. Ramirez found me in pre-op, my hospital bracelet reading Morgan, Nicole in bold letters. The same last name as the man about to be hyped up 2 floors above where I was lying. Family's not here? She asked gently, checking my IV. They've got other priorities. Her jaw clenched. I could see a tiny muscle twitching under her skin. Nicole, I gotta level with you. The mass is bigger than we originally thought. The surgery is gonna be complicated. You'll be in ICU after, not a regular room. This is major surgery with real risks. My heart was pounding out of my chest. Should I be scared? You should be supported, she said, her voice rock solid. But since you're not getting that, just know my whole team has your back. We're gonna take care of you. The anesthesiologist started the sedation. The last thing I heard was Dr. Ramirez saying, "We got you, Nicole. You're not alone." 7 hours later, I came to in the ICU, my body feeling like it had been ripped apart and slapped back together. The mass was cancerous, stage 2 ovarian cancer. They'd taken out my ovary, part of my fallopian tube, and surrounding tissue. Dr. Ramirez had put in an extra 2 hours making sure the margins were clean. Lori was right there, crying tears of relief. You made it. Dr. Ramirez said the surgery was a total success. They got all the cancer. The pain was absolutely brutal, even with the meds. I had drains, IVs, monitors beeping nonstop. My family? I whispered. Lori's face went dark. Your dad posted on Facebook about his promotion party prep. Victoria posted selfies from the hair salon, not a single word about you. 2 days after the surgery, Saturday evening, I was stable enough to get moved to a regular surgical floor, directly below the event center where my dad's party was going full throttle. I could literally hear the music, the laughing, the whole celebration thumping through the ceiling while I was struggling to find any position that didn't send white-hot pain ripping through my gut. Lori checked her phone, and her face went ghost white. Nicole, your dad just posted pics from the party. The photos showed him rocking a tuxedo, grinning ear to ear next to hospital execs. The caption, celebrating with my complete family. So blessed. I was 2 floors below him, recovering from cancer surgery, alone. Sunday morning, my phone blew up with calls. First Victoria, then my dad, then a bunch of numbers I didn't even recognize. Lori pulled up social media. Oh my God, Nicole, this is everywhere. The hospital's internal communications board had a new post from Dr. Ramirez calling out medical family neglect in healthcare leadership. But that wasn't even the half of it. One of the nurses who'd caught wind of my situation through hospital channels had recorded the promotion party on their phone. The video showed the fancy ballroom, hospital execs and board members all dressed to the nines. My father up at the mic, giving his acceptance speech. I'm honored to serve as Senior Vice President of Hospital Operations. His voice came through crystal clear. St. Catherine's is about compassionate care, putting patients and families first. That's the culture I'll champion. The room erupted in applause. Then a woman's voice from off-camera cut through it all. Is that why your daughter is recovering from cancer surgery 2 floors below while you're up here throwing a party? The whole room went dead silent. The camera found Dr. Ramirez standing near the back, still in her surgical scrubs. She'd come straight from checking on me in recovery, and she'd timed her entrance on purpose to line up with my father's speech. My dad's smile froze solid. I'm sorry, what? Dr. Ramirez walked straight to the front, the crowd splitting around her like the Red Sea. Your daughter, Nicole Morgan. I performed a 7-hour emergency surgery on her Thursday to remove a cancerous ovarian mass. She's been in intensive care while you've been out here party planning. Board members started shooting each other looks left and right. That's a private family matter, my father started. It's a leadership matter, Dr. Ramirez cut him off, her voice booming with authority. You're getting bumped up to Senior VP of Hospital Operations, overseeing patient care policies and family support programs, yet you blew off your own daughter's life-threatening condition as minor and dramatic. You told her cancer surgery was basically an outpatient thing that shouldn't mess with your party schedule. My dad's face went completely white. You could see it plain as day, even on the video. Nicole's surgery was complex, high risk, and life-saving. Dr. Ramirez kept going. She has stage 2 ovarian cancer. She's gonna need chemo, a long recovery, and family support. Dr. Ramirez's voice was ice cold, every word hitting with surgical precision. She had none of that. Because her father, a hospital administrator who absolutely should understand how serious this is, had the whole family convinced she was faking it for attention. Victoria's gasp was loud enough to pick up on the video. I have Nicole's medical records and her own account of how you responded to her diagnosis, Dr. Ramirez continued. You work in healthcare, you approve surgical schedules, you know the terminology. Your dismissal wasn't ignorance, it was straight-up willful neglect. The hospital board chairman stood up, his face dead serious. Patrick, is this true? My daughter tends to exaggerate. Your daughter has cancer. Dr. Ramirez's voice cracked with fury. She nearly died on my operating table because the tumor was bigger and way more invasive than the initial scans showed. If she'd waited one more week, the week you demanded she wait until after this party, we might not have been able to save her. The whole room exploded into whispers. The surgery was Thursday, Dr. Ramirez said. Today is Saturday. Nicole is 2 days post-op from major cancer surgery, lying alone in a hospital room while her father is up here celebrating a promotion to a position that's supposed to be about compassionate patient care. She looked the board chairman dead in the eye. How are we supposed to trust someone to lead patient family support when he can't even support his own daughter through cancer? The video cut off there, but the news coverage kept rolling. The board had put my father's promotion on ice pending an investigation. Hospital staff started coming forward with complaints about his track record of shutting down employee medical leave requests. 3 nurses reported that he'd called their health problems convenient excuses when they needed time off. The video spread like wildfire through the hospital staff on internal messaging, then got shared with local healthcare advocacy groups, and by Sunday morning it had hit regional medical news outlets. What started as hospital business turned into a full-blown cautionary tale about healthcare leadership failures. My phone rang. My father. How could you? He hissed when I picked up. You ran your mouth to that doctor about our private family business. My promotion's frozen. The board's investigating me. You've wrecked my entire career over some surgery. I have cancer, Dad. And you're fine now, aren't you? So all this drama, this public humiliation? Mr. Morgan. Dr. Ramirez's voice came from my doorway. She was doing rounds, still in scrubs from another surgery. I put her on speaker. Let me make this crystal clear. I didn't need Nicole to tell me a single thing. Your response to her diagnosis is all over her medical records. Hospital staff saw you dismissing her condition with their own eyes. Your own words at the party, she tends to exaggerate, were caught on camera. Dead silence from my dad's end. Nicole has stage 2 ovarian cancer, Dr. Ramirez continued. She went through emergency surgery that lasted 7 hours. She's got chemo starting next month. The fact that she's fine now is because of a highly skilled surgical team and aggressive treatment, not because her condition was no big deal. This is a family matter. This is a leadership matter. You're in hospital administration. You write the policies for patient care and family support, and yet you completely dropped the ball on providing even the most basic support to your own family member with cancer. Dr. Ramirez's voice was sharp enough to cut glass. The board investigation isn't about Nicole, it's about your pattern of blowing off medical needs and whether you're even fit to lead patient care initiatives. I've been at this hospital for 15 years. And in 15 years, you never figured out that cancer doesn't negotiate. Surgery isn't optional, and family support doesn't come with conditions based on what's convenient for you. She paused. Nicole is going to crush her cancer treatment. Whether you survive this investigation and keep your job, that's entirely up to the board. The line went dead. Dr. Ramirez checked my vitals, her expression finally softening. How's the pain? I can deal. Dr. Ramirez, the party, the video, had to happen. Nicole, I've been cutting for 20 years. I have never once seen a healthcare administrator write off their own kid's cancer as an inconvenience. The board needed to see exactly who they were about to promote. My family's never going to forgive me. Your family almost killed you with their neglect. Forgiveness isn't something that's owed, it's earned. Right now, you just focus on getting better. The board's investigation dragged on for 6 weeks, and what they dug up was ugly. My father had denied or stalled medical leave for 17 employees over 3 years, calling their conditions minor or blown out of proportion. He'd once told a nurse that her miscarriage was not an excuse to bail on a shift. Another employee's heart surgery got labeled elective and bad timing. His promotion got yanked for good. They knocked him all the way down to administrative assistant with mandatory ethics training on top of it. 3 months later, he dipped, quit rather than actually complete the program. Victoria filed for divorce, saying he couldn't get his priorities straight when it came to family. The whole thing was wrapped up in 4 months after a quick settlement. Evan stopped talking to him altogether once he found out the full story. My father lost his position, his marriage, and his own son's respect, all because he couldn't man up and acknowledge his daughter's cancer. I locked in on recovery and chemo. Lori was my personal Uber to every single appointment, never missed one. Dr. Ramirez kept tabs on my progress herself. My coworkers sent care packages left and right. My real family, the one I chose, showed up every single time, no questions asked. 4 months after surgery, my scans came back clean. The cancer was gone. Chemo was doing its thing. 6 months later, I was officially cancer-free and working as a patient advocate at St. Catherine's. Dr. Ramirez personally brought me on board to help build out family support programs for surgical patients. You get what patients need because you never got it yourself, she told me during my interview. That's exactly why you're perfect for this gig. My father sent one email. I hope you're satisfied. You destroyed my career over a surgery you bounced back from anyway. I didn't even bother hitting reply, because he still didn't get it. I bounced back in spite of him, not because my cancer was no big deal. A year after my diagnosis, I got up on stage at a hospital leadership conference and spoke about family medical neglect in healthcare administration. Healthcare leaders gotta walk the walk, not just talk the talk, I told the crowd. My father spent 15 years in hospital operations, but couldn't even hold it down for his own daughter during cancer treatment. That's not just a personal L. That's professional hypocrisy at its finest. The standing ovation hit different. Like, really hit different. Dr. Ramirez caught up with me after. Your father called. He wants to talk. What did you tell him? That you're out here winning without him. And maybe he should spend his energy learning from his mistakes instead of chasing forgiveness he hasn't put in the work to earn. I smiled. Thank you. For everything. The surgery, the advocacy, the truth. All of it. Nah. Thank you for surviving and using your voice. You literally changed hospital policy. Family support protocols are mandatory now because of your story. I was cancer-free, building a whole career, helping other people, and surrounded by folks who went to war for me when my own blood wouldn't. And that right there taught me the biggest lesson of my life. Real family pulls up when you're going through hell, not just when there's something to celebrate. Dr. Ramirez pulled up. Lori pulled up. My coworkers pulled up. My father? He pulled up to a promotion party while I was downstairs recovering from cancer surgery. And honestly, that told me everything I ever needed to know about whose opinion actually matters. I survived, I thrived, and I built a life that puts truth over keeping the family peace. Because surviving ain't dramatic, it's straight up revolutionary. In the years since, my father and I have been completely done. Total estrangement, not a single word between us since that last email. My mom passed when I was little. Victoria's happily remarried, doing her thing. Evan eventually came back around and patched things up with me, though we keep it chill, nothing too deep. My real family? That's Lori, Dr. Ramirez, and the whole community of patient advocates I've built around me. Those are my people. Period.